this evening. We're here today to tell you about a case that started back on August 30th with an individual who escaped from a human trafficking home in the Meadows area. This individual went to a church. That church contacted our office, which started this investigation. During this investigation, our investigators and patrol went out to investigate this home where this person escaped from. We've come to find out that they had 4 other individuals locked in a hot garage being held for ransom to pay more money for being smuggled out of Mexico. These individuals are from Central America, some from Honduras and some from Guatemala. We arrested 3 individuals. These individuals are being arrested right now, have different charges varying from aggravated kidnapping to smuggling. This is an ongoing investigation, but I want to thank my investigators and patrol for the quick actions that we took in rescuing these individuals. ICE was contacted as well after these people were rescued from this smuggling operation. And as I said, it's an ongoing investigation, and we're expecting more arrests to be involved. Here with me today are some investigators that handled this case, Detective Harris from my Investigations Bureau, and Major Berger also. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now.
Okay, now, how long were they in Meadows Place at that location? How many days, do you know?
From what we understand, they were there for numerous days. How many days?
Up to 2 weeks.
Up to 2 weeks.
And these were men and women that were held in captivity?
At this time, I'll let Detective Harris come up and answer some of these questions.
Okay, thank you.
And also, if you can talk about the conditions that they were found, please.
Can you say that again?
If you can talk about the conditions that they were found.
The condition they were found
The
in?
condition they were found in, they were being held in a garage, an unair conditioned, unventilated garage within the home, or attached to the home.
Are they okay? Are they?
Yes, ma'am.
How many men and women were?
3 males, 2 females.
Can you repeat how many days were there in the house?
They're varying days on each individual, but the ones that were kept there the longest were up to 2 weeks.
Were they fed or given water?
They didn't have direct access to it, but yes, they were fed and given water.
So when exactly did those arrests happen? Everything happened August 30th. At what time did the authorities went to rescue them?
The original call came in around noon, and the arrests and the investigation continued on through the remainder of the evening. So the individuals were arrested the same day.
At night?
Yes, sir.
So the presence that was there at night with the SWAT team, was that related on the?
In Meadows Place, yes, sir.
What's your position again?
Sergeant with Fort County Sheriff's
Can you
Office.
recap, like the sheriff did, from your standpoint, what happened from A to Z?
So basically, the sheriff's office was contacted. This individual made contact at a church and had outcried to some of the people at the church that he was being held captive in a home. Our patrol deputies responded. They contacted me, and the human trafficking unit then responded to the church where the individual was held, and the investigation pursued from there.
So it sounds like this individual might have been an escapee from this house. Was he held hostage at this house, escaped, and then essentially raised alert about other individuals at the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So where are all these victims now?
The victims were released to the custody of Homeland Security investigators, and I do not know what Homeland Security investigators did with them after that.
And do you happen to know how much money was being asked for as part of that ransom?
I only know of one particular victim, and I know that they were asking for an additional $10,000 on top of what they had already been paid.
And do you know what that is?
I do not.
Does this look like it was a stash house? Has it looked like there's been other activities at the home? Has it been going on for a while? Do you know? And has there been other homes in the Meadows Place that have been raided for human smuggling?
I can't answer that. I do not know the answer to that.
But it's a thing. It's an ongoing. Yeah. If you could address that.
Human trafficking is a crime that's all around us. You are asking, are there other homes in Meadows? Well, there's other homes all across the nation. What we need is the public to look for signs of human trafficking. If you see vans coming to a home, if you see bars on the outside of the house, where they usually be on the inside, while on the outside with the lock being on the outside so you can't escape, things like that. If you see people bringing in food to a certain part of the home, not going into the main home, it looks like they bringing food to a certain area. It's things like that. We need the public to be aware of these things, to let us know. The Fort Bend Sheriff's Office is working tirelessly to address this issue, and we are. I have a great team of investigators on patrol, and patrol officers as well, working hand in hand with all agencies here in Fort Bend to attack this issue. But to ask if there's other homes in Meadows or not, we don't know. But I do know that there could be anywhere. It could be your neighbor who's holding people in human trafficking.
So was there anything irregular at this Meadows Place home, with newspapers collecting or anything, doors unlocked or in and out activity? Anybody spot anything?
Well, like the detective said, we got alerted by the man who escaped from that home. But if people would have paid attention, I'm not blaming them, I'm just saying, if they would have noticed people coming in and out of their garage, why would you bring loads of food to a garage? Why would you bring water to a garage at different times? And vans coming late at night, in and out, things like that. Pay attention to things like that.
So do you have any video surveillance of this from other neighbors, of vans going in and out, people being unloaded?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any surveillance video from homes near the area of people being unloaded, of white vans coming in and out, traffic?
Well, at that time, when we found out about that, we did an ongoing investigation right away. Mm-hmm. And we noticed a van come, that's when we made the arrest of those individuals. They drove back up in a van. Mm-hmm. We couldn't wait, and because we knew the victim who got away, he said there were other victims inside their garage. So we had to act right then and there for safety.
That's what I was gonna say. What did he share with you guys in terms of what was going on in that house?
That he was being held against his will and being held for ransom, and there was other victims there.
And did you give us the ages?
Of the victims?
Yes.
Do we know the ages of the victims? Not offhand. All were adults.
Anything particular about these guys that are on the wall here? Anything particular about each one that you that you could share with us?
Well, I can say this. As you can see, they're young. They're young individuals. Human trafficking is not what you see in the movies all the time, a big kingpin or it could be your next door neighbor. It could be these individuals in their early 20s. So it could be anyone. This is just a small sample of people who were arrested in this industry of human trafficking. Human trafficking is $1 billion that's what's going on that we have to address. So there's all people involved, not just these individuals. It could be anyone.
Who owns the house?
The owner of the house, I think it was, I'm not really sure. We're still investigating that. We don't know if it was a rental property owned or anything. We're investigating that right now.
So the owner hasn't been contacted?
I'm not to say right now. We're still investigating. It's an ongoing investigation.
What was the final destination of these 5 people? Houston or other cities?
We don't know. We do know this, that one of the traffickers were contacted to bring these individuals to a park, but to a nearby park, so they can be transported to another location. So that's another reason we had to act quickly, because we found out that they were about to be transferred again.
Was this a park in Fort Bend County that they were going to?
All we know is it would be a park near the Meadows area. Exactly which park, I'm not really sure of.
And so when did they come into this country, do you know?
As the detective said, they've been held for over 2 weeks. And they came from Guatemala and Honduras. We don't know, did they come from New York? We don't know, did they come from California? We don't know how many times they've been moved around. Like I said, it's an ongoing investigation.
We'll take one more question.
The 3 people arrested, are they from Houston?
3 people who are arrested right now are in our custody at Fort Bend County Jail right now. Their location from where they're from is ongoing investigation.
Can I ask one final question to the sergeant?
Yes.
Sergeant, just to circle back to the moment that y'all made the discovery of those migrants in the garage, just explain, for your team, for your staff, what did y'all initially observe when you, I don't know, open the door to the garage and you see these migrants? Like, what was the look in their faces like? Going back to the conditions, kind of describe that moment to us.
I can't describe the conditions that they were in while they were in the garage, because we were able to recover them outside of the garage, so they weren't in there when we got there. But I can just basic conditions of, imagine what an unlit hot garage in the Texas summer would be. That's exactly where they were being held. No windows, no doors, no air conditioning, no ventilation, just concrete floor. It's just a hot garage in the Texas summer.
So kind of like animals, basically.
Temperature more or less would have been what?
It was 110 outside or in the garage, I would imagine.
So they wouldn't allow it inside the house, it appears to be.
Doesn't appear to be, no, sir.
Was the garage attached to the house?
No more
Yes.
questions. No more questions, please.
Sergeant, can you say and spell your first and last name?
Harris, Justin Harris, Justin Harris.
Dalia Simons, capitán con el condado de Fort Bend. Durante las horas de mediodía, el miércoles agosto 30 del año 23, la unidad de tráfico humano inició una investigación aquí en el condado del departamento de alguacil del condado de Fort Bend, y iniciaron esa investigación de secuestro y contrabando de humanos. Esta investigación iniciada después de que un inmigrante ilegal se escapó, y entonces él fue a un negocio que estaba cercano de allí, de donde él se escapó, a pedir ayuda. Después de pedir ayuda, entonces él había estado ahí detenido porque los habían traído ilegalmente de contrabando por México. Y estas personas que estaban detenidas eran de Guatemala y de Honduras, eran de Centroamérica. Las personas eran 3 hombres y 2 mujeres que estaban ahí secuestrados en ese lugar. Les estaban pidiendo una recompensa para poder liberarlos a ellos de hasta $10,000. Durante esa investigación se dieron cuenta que habían estado ahí por lo menos 2 semanas o más tiempo. Y durante esta investigación fueron 3 sujetos que fueron arrestados. Y estos 3 sujetos fueron José Aguirre, de 24 años de edad, José Aguirre Martín, de 22 años de edad, Orlando Noé Bentacur Flores, de 21 años de edad. Los 5 inmigrantes fueron liberados a los investigadores de seguridad nacional. Los cargos que recibieron estos sujetos fueron cargos de secuestro agravado que llevan de 5 a 99 años y hasta $10,000 de fianza. Y el otro cargo que también llevan son contrabando de personas, que llevan de 2 a 10 años y hasta $10,000 de fianza.
Perfecto. ¿Qué mensaje le tienen a la comunidad? Porque esto pasó en un vecindario. Yo hablaba con unos vecinos y estaban sorprendidos de que eso pasara a un lado de su casa. ¿Qué recomendación tienen las autoridades?
La recomendación es que el tráfico humano puede ocurrir en cualquier lugar y en cualquier vecindad donde vive la gente, en cualquier lugar. Es importante que el público ponga atención a cualquier cosa que miren que no sea normalmente que pasa por alrededor de las casas de las personas. Tal vez gente que lleva comida a lugares o agua, o miran que llevan varias gentes a esa casa, a ese lugar. Estas personas fueron encontradas en el garaje sin bebida y sin comida, y en un garaje que no tenía ventilación de aire acondicionado.
¿Ha incrementado este tipo de delitos en la ciudad de Houston, y por qué Houston es una ciudad que atrae mucho este tipo de delitos?
Esta clase de delitos ocurren en cualquier otro lugar. Como por ejemplo, estas personas entraron ilegalmente por la frontera de México, y ellos los trajeron de McAllen a Houston, y es donde como ellos estaban aquí.
Perfecto.
¿Y el ransom es $10,000 por persona?
Lo único que sabemos de esta investigación, la única información que recibimos es $10,000. No sabemos si fue por persona, pero con uno de los sujetos que tenían ellos ahí secuestrados, sí era la cantidad de dinero que estaban pidiendo.
¿Los arrestados son de Houston?
Los arrestados, ahorita no tengo esa información ahorita para dar.
Perfecto.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're gonna charge